The reading for Friday, the beginning of the weekend. I like this quote. It's from Dr. Seuss. You have brains in your head and feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. That's pretty cool. So, physically, mentally, emotionally. There you go. I like it. Well, here's the reading. Choose a story of joy. How about that? First quote is from one of my hero characters from the last century. I have lots of hero characters, but if I were to choose my top three for, I don't know why, they just are the top three for me. First one is Mother Teresa, and the quote today is from Mother Teresa. The second one is Princess Di. Why? Because although she was famous and she had wealth and she struggled a lot with public exposure, but what she did was she brought humanity to the royal presence in the world, and she actually got down in the dirt and actually got with regular people. Mother Teresa, of course, worked her whole life, well, most of her life, with people who were down and out. The third one is Nelson Mandela. And the real reason I like Nelson Mandela and I really admire him is because he was able to get beyond the anger and the bitterness that you can really understand why he felt it with apartheid, but he eventually got beyond that, and he was able to forgive those people who'd wronged him, and of course, eventually got rid of apartheid in South Africa. So those are my three favorite people. There's lots more, of course, lots more, but those are my top three. So got nothing to do with today's reading, but they're my top three. First one is from Mother Teresa, who said, joy is strength, joy is prayer, joy is love. Joy is a net of love by which you catch souls. God loves a cheerful giver. Yeah, I remember that particular part. God loves a cheerful giver. She gives most who gives with joy. So there you go, Mother Teresa. And this one I really love because it gets down to the root of any New Thought teaching. The authority for your words is in your works. The authority for your words is in your works. So, anyway, you prove yourself by what you do, not what you say. And this is story again from Reverend Christine. My favorite childhood memory is of my dad reading us bedtime stories. Whether he read them or made them up, they were uplifting and always had happy endings. Now, this is true, I think, for a lot of us. What she's going to say next. I make up stories all the time, usually in the middle of the night. My stories are not always encouraging and supportive. They often create expectations of myself or others and contain a lot of drama and fear. Rather than happy endings, they inflict enough emotional pain and suffering to cause any self-respecting insomniac to dive under the covers. That's what I call being vulnerable. Vulnerability is a wonderful quality. There's little room for love to show up when there is fear. Fear overpowers our thinking and it drains our energies out of any situation. Rather than focus on all the terrible, horrible, no good that fear creates, choose to see love, hope, peace, and joy. Choose to tell a new story of joy. I choose to see joy. Though I may not always be able to see joy in the moment, even recalling a joyful experience uplifts and transforms any situation. Observing the world through a lens of joy opens up my mind to unlimited possibilities. Joy allows me to tell a new story about what I want. I lay aside all anxiety, all striving, Ernest Holmes wrote, and I let the law of divine love operate through me into my affairs. Joyfully, I anticipate greater abundance, more success, and a deeper peace. Joy wells up within my mind, and life, capital L, sings its, capital I, song of ecstasy in my heart. May all your stories be tales of joy and love. And I think that is a pretty good start to any weekend. And it's a pretty good thing to read later in the day, because it reminds us that during the night, when if we start ruminating all the things that can go wrong, really doesn't help us at all. A, it doesn't help us get back to sleep. And B, it probably doesn't do us any good either, physically, mentally, or emotionally. So it's always good to replace it. So you waking up in the middle of the night, even you got a lot of stuff that you need to worry about, right? At least for an instant, think about something pleasant that happened in the last day, the last week, the last month, the last year, whatever. Think of something that really pleasant that happened, even if it's as simple as a wonderful meal, and that will actually redirect your thoughts and your thinking. I tell a new story of joy and love. I tell a new story of joy and love. And that's your affirmation. And as I said, when you get messages like this that really don't need much explanation or developing, hey, the story is and the message is good enough on its own. At least I think so. My colleague, Reverend Lisa, will have another message tomorrow, a different message, and I'm convinced that she will say something about self-care. She always does, which is a good thing, right? So until next time, my wish for everyone is joy and love, now and always. Namaste.